Okay, friends. So the answer, what of the Dorim, the Dorim is Hepech, contrary to the whole purpose, which is to to elevate and engage the world. So the answer to the Maimah is that's the point, indeed. Namely, that it can happen that a person does need a neder because he's off the path, or he sees that a certain Indian he's not being the master of it, he's not elevating it. So he has to make a neder, but it's a temporary avodah. The avodah of the Nesiim, dafke, of the Matos, plugged into Moshe Rabbeinu, the madrega of Chachma, the madrega of Shabbos. So their avodah is to be mated the neder. That's their avodah. The avodah is to elevate and inspire the Yid to the point that this is now permissible and he can engage the world, and to empower him to carry out shlichus. That's what he's saying. Clear? So that's the whole thing of Hataras Nedarim. The kvetch is that it's a complete new understanding. That the emphasis here is that there's a Yitzhahara, and therefore you'd have to make a neder. But the avodah of the matis is to lift the Jew beyond that and inspire him to go out there in the world and not to be nispal. On the contrary, to elevate it, be exposed to all the inyanim, and to elevate that which can be elevated and rejected, which has to be rejected. The psoilus. So vahainu. Before we start again, the second last paragraph. What's the ikar kavan beparsha? What's the main intent of the parsha? Not to extol the virtue of nidarim. On the contrary, yeah, there has to be inyan of nidarim when necessary, but the tachlis is the hatorah. Okay, now there should not be nidarim. A person should remain faithful in theory. And therefore, that answers our question why dafke this mitzvah, no other, we are told that it was given to who? To the Roshei Hamatos. It's Meididika answer. He's saying that the leaders of the generation of the Achrayas to inspire their flock to be shluchim, to go out in the world and engage the world and have the ger and the yosam, the amman at your table. I think of the hemshech to Parshas Mayad. That's the message here. It's a message to the leadership. But because they should be pale, hataras hadarim, kin hataras hadarim nasek, the chacham dafke. It has to be someone who's elevated to himself at the level of this bittul, the chachma, and ba'ofen she'oikeres hanedim mikore, not unlike hafaras hadarim of a husband or a father who stops the neder going forward, is meifer it. The chacham is mated it mikore. He undoes it to begin with, because to begin with it's not the objective. It's a necessary step, but it's not the objective. Never was. They have to be pale. The leadership has to be pale by all Yidden. She b'mayim the matzav naili after leadership tainas. I'm asking you, friends. He can't pale this on his flock. So they should go out there in the world and each one, be the union of shlichus. Maybe part of a Yidden out there. You can't. He knows his people. They will not survive. They're going to be cloistered. They're going to live in a world of nedarim. This is forbidden, and that's forbidden, and this is forbidden. Their whole life is that. Another takona, not takunas. Takunas, and nine takona. Another thing is forbidden now. Another thing you can't do. Now you can't learn Torah be'iyun. Another takona. Just by the way, to be perfectly honest, one of the reasons for their takonas, if not the main, is just to remain relevant. There's nothing new, no fresh idea. There's no depth. So to keep relevant tonight, Takonen and Yug Zeta, and thank God there's something to fight, Zionism or what have you. Otherwise, what's the whole identity? So that's what the leader says. What do you want from me? I don't have it. What's the answer to him? The Maimon gave us the answer. You plug into Moshe Rabbeinu v'atzalti min haruach asher alecha. If you'll be plugged into the Nasi Adeh, you'll have that koyach and you'll inspire your flock. They got it from Moshe Rabbeinu. That was the whole shaila. Moshe Rabbeinu is the Darga Vatzilus, and so are the elders. The Skenim v'atzalti min haruach asher alecha v'samti aleim. So if you'll be connected, you remain who you are, but you'll be connected. From Goli to the Nasi Adeh, you'll have that koyach and you'll give it to your community. Continuing, so they should be pale by the second paragraph. You say they should be pale by all Bnei Yisrael, Kol Bnei Yisrael. You're leaders of a community, all of you. They inspire them that they should be in a higher matzav. They should need a daughter. Why? Because they're not afraid of the world. The world is not the enemy. It's the place to be made a didalei yisbarach. That's its whole metzius. Also, that which he had made forbidden becomes permissible. And I'm sorry, how does he do it? It was forbidden. How does it become permissible? Also, who mitzad b'chinas eirin savushe b'chachma b'chinas gvura da'atik, which in simple language means pnimi zekavana. Gvura da'atik means, as we said yesterday, Gvura is tzimtzum on the one hand, and Gvura means might. How does it go together? So one of the pirushim, one of the biyurim is that Gvura has the power to transform the tzimtzum. And that's what's up, Pnimiyas HaKavan, the Gvura Da'atik. This is the Basi Lagadi Maimer last year. L'maylam helem achar helem, helem ha'atzmi. That's where the Kavanah lies, and Dir b'tachtoinim. So if you're plugged into Gvura Da'atik, which you'll get through Moshe Rabbeinu, you're not afraid of the world. And it's waiting to be elevated by you. And your fellow Jew that you wrote off is waiting for you to reach out to him. That's where we're up to exactly. Okay, the next part, I don't know exactly. Try and give the pshat. So one way is a chachem who is a mumcha. We understand that now. His bittul is connected to Moshe Rabbeinu, Gvura Da'atik, Pnimiyas HaKavanah. There's also another eifun of Shleisha, there's three laymen. When you say, what's the meaning of three? Before B'Siddur, Alter Rebbe in Siddur writes, why do you need a mezuman of three? Why not two? One says, and the other answers. Because you have to have three. Dafka 3 embraces all of Ishtal Shalus, and the Ikid is Dafka 3 introduces the third element that reconciles and makes peace between Chesed and Gevurah Tiferes. Shemchin is Chagas. You need three, because that is Chachma Gevurah Tiferes. Miskalim Yachad, when they unite, again, it means that you Megala Lekus in Helem, in the Gevurah, Chesed and Gvurah at odds, Bli Gvul Gvul, Eir Keli. But to the Kavanah Pnimiyas Tiferes, they're united. That's the Nevarech. That's why you need three. And that's how you elevate the food. It's part of the context of elevating the food, the zimun, after a meal. V'ozi abracha, the rabbim, and then it's a bracha for the world. Shnimsheches, it draws on the Pnimiyas, Keser, Chachma Bina. I guess he's referring to Keser here. So again, Gvura Da'atik, Pnimiyas HaKeser. L'cha'ira, I'm just completely, Teres Lokshin, but could be also saying, V'yidna Ba'achtos. The Varech 3, so you're Keli. You're Keli to be pale the Avodah. He's not Meidich, I can't tell you more. Then I say, beginning Gimel that you to say, so there he spoke about Nevarech, why I need 3 from Mezum, and he's applying it. Yeshleima, that was applying it to the Gimel Yotis, the 3 lay people that can also be Matir Nedrish, Mamshichim, Epchinas HaKeser, in their Achtos, L'chayra, that's the word here. And in the Achtos of the different elements in Klal Yisrael, so the Mamshich, Epchinas HaKeser, L'chein B'yecholtem L'hateres HaNeder. And therefore they can transform the neder and be magal likos even in helim, even in concealment, even in that place which till now you couldn't go, or you thought you couldn't go. And you had to even make a neder temporarily. It's not Meidich, I don't know if it's up in the city there maybe there's more arichas, I'm sure there is, but it's not about nedarim, it's about mezumen. That's the general idea. Let's conclude. In light of the Bab, we can add now even further. The Bir Asmichos, the Parshas Meidrim, the Parshas Nedarim. So now we'll understand further the connection between, we said already, because Moyadim, unlike Shabbos, there's a possibility of Yenigi Chitzonim, and therefore you need Nedarim. And now we're going deeper. Both are Bina. Shabbos is Chochma, both is Bina. In the world of Bina, in the world of Biyah, that's where you need Avodas, if necessary, the Avodah of Nedarim of precious, to divest oneself temporarily. But now going deeper in light, it seems, of the very last point that he said, let's see it, Shebepasek Eder Tasel Hashem. And the Pasuk says the end, the culminating, the Avodas HaKarbanos of the Maidim of Parshas Pinchas, it says, Hashem, this is what you should, this is the Kabbalah you should bring my Adechem on your Yom Tov. Levad, in addition, of your private vows and commitments. So Marum is a Keshev, a Shaycha, Shebein Moedim Ledorim, here the connection is hinted. Shezellefish Shneim Ebchinas Binah. No. What did he say now they didn't say before? Didn't say this. Maybe he didn't spell it out like that. But he did. He said before that Shabbos is Meichen Abba and Yom Tov is Meichen Dima. Yeah, but he didn't connect it back to the Nedarim. Now he's doing it. Okay. That was a different kind of bir. So in light of the above, we have the understanding, the avana, because as we explained, as opposed to Yom Tov, we create Yom Tov, v'chulu, and because we created, it's subject to our imperfections, and therefore it can go the wrong way. The simcha, that's why you need precious. The Bezdin sent so no, this is the Yesh Lahoisef. So there is the need for, but not saying you don't need precious. We're being honest, we need precious. And that's why again Bezdin sent their officers to keep things in order by force. But then la'achar is about Parshas Nedarim, comes Parshas Nedarim. The Iker Tachlis Sanhedrin is not to police the people, to inspire the people. Sheikar hiu'in ha'taras Nedarim, the Iker is ha'taras Nedarim. That's the Tachlis. After the Yom Tov and its challenges, what should a Yid come out of Yom Tov with? Elevated, empowered to engage the world. Actually, the Chayres is Taka Bahab. There's the fast days, Beis, that's like a Yin of Nedarim, to take care of any excesses. But after that comes after Yom Tov Tishrei Bar Cheshvan, the avoid of going down into the world. There's no Yom Tov in bringing Kedusha, elevating the world. So that's why after Yom Tov comes Parshas HaTorahs on Nedarim. Shikaru in HaTorahs Nedarim, as Rashi said, that it comes to teach us that a Yochid Mumcha can be Matir Neder. So it's interesting to note again that Gemara says HaTorahs Nedarim is Dinim Perichim Ba'avir. It's not explicit in Torah anywhere that there's for a father and a husband, yes, but not Stam Chacham B'Matir Neder. Why? Because in a way it's kind of drawing a level higher than Torah itself. Torah itself can allow for the Avodah Perishus. It can be justified up Torah, as everybody did, till the Hashem Tov. Who was the big tzaddik, the Porush? Not Torah. He is Megala in Torah. No, the Kavan is the Torah's the Dorim, not the Neder. And it's only Marumas because it's not obvious. It's this Gali in Chassidus. So where does our Torah comes from? From Chochma, which means bittul. If there's bittul to the Kavan El Yoina, I'm here to serve, then you will serve. You'll be successful. Like Shabbos, which is exclusively God's gift, higher than Yontif. They come to the ultimate of the Shabbos, the time there'll be, the day that'll be always Shabbos and Menucha forevermore. Beautiful Maimer. Who's chazering the Teichen on Shabbos at the Fabrengen? David. He just got the job. It's very short. Yeah? Shabbos Chazoin. Okay, shkoyach, beautiful. Let's look at the kitzur. You have it on the page in front of you. Every mime is beautiful. Yeah, you have it. You should have it in front of you. It's going to give you the right page there. Yeah. Vaydaber Moishe Roshei Hamatos yeah. So the Mishnah says in Pirkei Avos, Nedorim Siyod LePerishus. Nedorim is the fence by which a person can achieve Perishus. You see, if you take the Mishnah again at face value, that's a virtue, it's a mile. How do you achieve Perishus? Nedorim. If you take a vow, that's going to stop you from crossing the line. So what is it? To divorce oneself, to separate, divest oneself from permissible matters. So who's that for? Says the Maimer. That's the reality, which is all of us. Most of us. Who sinned? In the example of food, he just can't eat like a mensch. He gets indulgent and he gets all excited. Doesn't show it. I remember as a kid, one of the epiphanies I had when, starting to learn Chassidus as a teenager. So the shliach at the time, Yankelaitis asked me the following hechetimtzer: who is going to get more? Who's going to be more excited in the negative sense in the following scenario? Eating a steak, which is coming after starting the 9 days. The poor man that never had a steak. And finally, one day, someone invites him to a restaurant, whatever, brings him a steak, and he's salivating, and he's about to take a slice, and it's snatched away, gone. Or the rich man who has a steak every night, and he eats, very kaltblutig in Yiddish. He's very not excited about it. He comes to like very elegant and very, very statechne. In Russian, very aristocratic and about the way he eats his meal with such delicacy. And he's about to eat a steak and it's snatched from the table. So as a kid, I would say, well, the poor man, he's going to be much more upset and excited and moved. He says, no. I never expected anyway, it's not his world. The poor man, the rich man, he's so deep, sunken in his taiveth, it's on his pilus. It's without excitement. But take it away from him, then you'll see. Then you'll see he moved. Just try and chip a little bit. Take it away. His luxury, then you'll see the wrath. But as you look externally, he's just doing it. It's all very cultivated and very, what we're looking for, very, I'm looking for the right word, very refined, cultivated, very cultured. But take it away. The poor man is how he gets the whole day's waiting. He's excited. He's a peasant. Take it away? No. Didn't really think he's going to get it anyway. So we have to have the of Nedorim. Vaydaber says he sees that he can't elevate it. Vaydaber Michael Yeridu Lamata, by eating it, it drags him down, and he also drags down the Michael. Dr. Rabbi says in Tanya. And where's that Shaykhat by Lebesbiyah, Mashankin Batzilis, Ein Tzerich, Ben Nedorim, and Atzilis is like Hamavurur, and Ma'achtos. That's in the worlds. What about in Sfiris? The parallel is interconnected. What's in Sfiris? The Nedorim, him being the Makashivis, may have been in the Nedorim is the source of creation, the 7 days. Bin is the source of the 7 midas, Mashankin Bechachma, like it says in Tanya, in the Hagam, Perek Lamed Hei, Sheba Meir, Erin Sof, Shalevadu, like you see, he puts the Hagah Mamish in the Kitzur, because that's critical. That in Chachma, that's where the truth, the exclusive truth of God's only reality is revealed. You don't need the Dorim, the Dorim. All his godliness, and he's there to carry out the mission. And what about the parallel in Zman? During the week, it's the struggle with Psoilis, with Nedorim. Because it's Meichin the Ima, Perish Chagechem, the dung of your sacrifices thrown on your face, with such imagery of the Novi. Mashenkin b'Shabbos, Meichin the Abba, but it is also, there's no selection on Shabbos because it's Bittul. It's in Kedusha itself, like not in the previous Mamar, Mimon Afar Yaakov. So Masha calls the Pashas Dori Vidaber Moishe El Roshei Hamatos. So they're answering the first big Givaldige Kasha. Why are we being told that the whole Seder of the way mitzvahs, parashas, HaTorah are given over only by singling out the matos? Because this is the one parasha, boys, it's up to you, the leaders. You got the responsibility. Because your avodah is to inspire your people that they should engage the world. The matzav nightly yosin elevates them higher. You don't have to divorce yourself and live cloistered in your own little ivory towers. There's a world that they're waiting for you. There's the Pashas Moed, there's the Pashas Dor, that's a connection to Yom Tov Dafke. The Bechai said, because it follows Yom Tov. And in why? And there it says the vad minidreich minidvayseichem. But verkehrt, the Yom Tov is saying these are commands for Yom Tov. In addition to another subject, Neder Nedava. What's the connection to Yom Tov? We have the answer because Shneim bebinah. Yom Tov is shaykh to the possible unique in chitzonim. They're both in binah. Shemisham yichel li yisinik. V'lechen tzarich lispish, and it has to be precious. But achar izeh. That's like Bahab, right? Ba'ataras netorim, then comes ataras nedorim to be oikeret lemafreya, beginnas chachma, and engage and elevate the world. Yeah, David, we're looking forward to hearing from you. Okay, next Maimon. We'll actually be able to get to the Elul Maimer in time to finish it, and maybe even start Rosh Hashanah Maimer, which would be very good. Get into Tishrei a bit. As Achona. Okay, next Maimer. This is from Shabbos Pashtas Ekev Chof Mנחem-Av, the first Maimer, and they didn't get the second one. There were two Maimorim that Shabbos. I don't have the second one. Maybe someone has someone in Eksav and they still haven't come forward. Unlikely, but maybe. To Pella. See, that's the mind of later generations will never happen. Not just because it was, okay, it's Shabbos, but just, it's all thanks to one Jew. His name is David Feldman. I was around, it all started. The Tishrei, Tavshin, Lamed, Vav. It was a Bocher, and the whole Chazorah was in disarray. Real chazar, but no one liked it. And he took it upon himself, and it was handwritten, hanachas mimeographed. And we had different color paper for the sich and for the maimer. I remember I got a handful of copies of it. If you wanted, you got it. I remember learning with my Zayda on the plane back to Australia, learning the maimer. He started, that's how Lahak started. just volunteer, David Feldman. And then he put together this Moishe and Chaim Shol and this incredible team of Chevra.
Simon.
Shimon, yeah.
Simon.
Saul Shimon.
No. Simon Jacobson worked there too.
Yeah, Simon Jacobson, yeah. From the first Chevra, and Yisrael Shimon Kalmanson, and other guys, over the years, joined and left, but these are the guys that are left now. And Baruch Hashem, they redid all the Sichos Kodesh, reworked it with Amara Makaimis and then Lashon HaKodesh, and clearly we owe them a great debt of thanks. The whole Teres Menach. Unsung hero, David Feldman. Chaim Shol.